in Trenton. Dyke Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs.
Commercial. Over to Seatown we drop for another play-by-play, former play-by-play partner of mine, Jay Miller. Jay, welcome back.
Yeah, good evening there, Rip.
Understand you're playing a little street hockey tonight?
Yeah, it's a little cool outside.
Hey,
a little windy.
Somewhere in Centralia, you can probably find Snake Beal shooting pucks at something somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably at Hudson's house firing that hockey puck into that net.
There you go. Pictures tomorrow morning on Facebook, of course. So, well, Jay, let's get it rolling here on scores and stuff. Hey, number one, before we get to college basketball, of course, you're all over the area refereeing and such, and you see a lot of teams. What do you think just as an overall shade on the whole season? Good, average? What are you thinking, in general terms?
Well, overall, I think it's a little down, but I tell you what, we do have some pretty good teams in, Class 1A and 2A in the South for sure. And, you have Nashville in 2A and Pinckneyville in 2A, which they got another one coming up, I think, early February.
They do.
And that one will – and I think Nashville lost to them down there. I think Pinckneyville held the ball, from what I understand.
Yeah, it was a 2 or 3 point difference at the end, 31, 32, 29, something like that. And they've got They've got a real good player back now too, Kitchener or something like. I believe he was hurt during the football season. I've been told. Yeah,
they've got one back, and plus they've only got like a couple seniors on that team. So. So the next couple of years, they're going to be a force to reckon with. Of course, you got Nashville.
Oh, Nashville!
And they have all that size and
aren't they good, Jay? I mean, they are really good. The heck with the class system.
That's right. They're really good. And then over on the other side in the 2A, you have Teutopolis and you have Casey West. You have Fairfield. Fairfield's a pretty nice ball club too. And I think this weekend, Nashville and T-Town play down in the Benton Shootout. So. That'd be a good matchup there. Yeah, that could be a possible super sectional matchup if those two were to survive their sectional complex.
Hey, and we're almost to postseason time, so it's going to get really good, really quick. So where have you been lately?
Well, let's see. Last week I had a busy week. I was down at Benton last Friday night, Benton and Heron, and Benton had them on the ropes and tried to go into a little four corners. 3 minutes to go, and it went into overtime, and they lost that game. And then Saturday, I worked down at the Pinckneyville Shootout. I got to have Marion and Stillville, and Marion's just a little bit too big for Stillville. So
okay.
That one was a little lopsided.
The hold the ball. No, go ahead, Jay.
I did get to see Oakville and Nashville up close and personal. I had that game
Tuesday
a week ago. And, yeah. Oakville led that ball game up until the third quarter, and then they went on a stretch where they couldn't score, and Nashville ended up pulling away from them.
And we're going to talk to Coach Krause in a little bit, but yeah, I heard Coach Wayne Hardy discuss that game a bit on the radio side the other day, and sounded like the Rockets had them, but it's tough to go full 4 against them. But Oakville in 1A again, that's going to be a real challenge for sure. But hey, on the college side, Jay, the Illini blasted Maryland. They need to play all their games in the Garden.
I think the Garden brought it out in Tevion Jones. He had a heck of a ball game for the Illini. And of course, the Illini is young and got a lot of inexperience, but they've played a lot of teams tough, and they've been blown out in some games that was kind of surprising. But if they could get them a couple more wins and build on it, and I think they've got a couple nice recruits coming in next year. Big boy from
Kofi.
Oak Hill Academy. I heard he's a 7-footer, and he's a strong 7-footer.
280, 285, and a lot of teams wanted him, including Kansas. So you got to think he's pretty salty.
Oh, yeah.
Kofi Cockburn, 6'9", 6'10", 280 plus. My goodness. Jamaican born.
And then I'm sure if you can steal another player or two, maybe out of Chicago, get a couple guards.
But can they? Can they get somebody out of Chicago? That's the thing, huh?
Well, I think Iowa's going to have to get up there and do some work for Coach and get some of his buddies to come down to Champaign.
Exactly. Yeah, that is the deal in basketball. you can't turn around in a hurry, unlike football. So I'm all for him.
Exactly.
And I want to see this this club under Coach Underwood. You met Underwood, I think, over at Trout, didn't you? Maybe a year or two?
Yeah, I stole a picture with him. He
That's
was,
right.
Last year before Liddell committed to Ohio State. All the college coaches were in there recruiting him, and so I kind of got a little with him and talked with him a little bit, and it was pretty neat. So Liddell, Springfield sent a little bit of money for him and try to get him a couple more players there. But yeah, I'd love to have him back.
Boy, the Blues from day one almost, they fired all kinds of Hall of Fame coaches. It's crazy. My goodness.
Yes, it is.
Bowman and Arbor and the whole. I definitely can't see it getting more than the 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I kept hearing the Cubs were going to everything to Harper, but that hasn't happened yet.
You know, I almost like the situation they have there at third and first with Power and the corners like it. I'm not so sure. I mean, somebody's got to go in a year or two because there are going to be some guys making a lot of money. I know the teams overall have incredible amounts of bucks, but I don't know. I always thought Harper was Dodgers. I can't steal that away now, although the longer this goes, heck, he may end up back at D.C. or possibly Philly.
Yeah, you never know. We're going to know in about a month or so.
Well, now you would think he wouldn't sign unless it's done in the next day or two. He wouldn't press the old pen on paper until after the Super Bowl now. I mean.
Oh, exactly.
But
the Super Bowl not been played yet?
It's not been played. That Pro Bowl was played, though, Jay. You talk about garbage.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody ask me today online. I don't need to watch it. I've seen enough in the past years. Now we have guys switching positions and they're drinking soda on the field and playing with their phones. This is so stupid.
Well, I don't even follow the NFL anymore. I didn't sit down and watch a game all year long, but I did see the highlights though of that Rams and Saints game, and that was unreal how that call was blown like that.
Jay, you know me, you and my into the conference, the semis. Those 2 days, I watched a little for the first time in basically 2 years. And last year, or last week, I did watch almost everything, all of the second game. I still hate Goodell for what happened. Everybody does this stuff, you know what's been going on. But it has calmed down a bunch. And I thought, okay, I'm going to put him on probation. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But, no, I'm still disgusted as heck and all. But, hey, the Cardinals, though, back to baseball real quick. You like Goldie, right? Even if it's only for a year, that's quite an addition, I think.
Yes, I do. I like him, even though it is for a year.
You got to do that once in a while.
You have to. The fans were getting a little restless over there. You had to bring somebody in, but you know you could possibly get into the playoffs with their roster.
Oh, sure.
A few of these guys step it up this year. I don't know about that right field position. That guy had a horrible season, but I'm assuming they're going to give Fowler a chance to
that guy
to play out there.
Apparently,
if I was the Cardinals, I would start him and hope that he starts off good, and then maybe look at, hey, we're going to try to dump him for somebody now that we can get maybe a little bit of money back from him. But no, I would give him a chance out there and see what's going on. But I think they got enough that they could get into the playoffs.
Guess what? It's all about pitching again, and who knows what they're going to have with that. So many ifs again. I mean, if they're counting on Wainwright.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I can't believe they're bringing Waino back. I think it's time that, hey, this should be the Waino tour and give him a job in the front office or something with baseball and keep him around. But, yeah, that 74-mile-an-hour curveball is just not going to fool a lot of people.
We'll see. They should know real early, but they might. Well, not might. I think they'll give him too much rope. Maybe he can come back somehow, but how can you count on that and injuries and so forth? Some pitching, they're going to be in good shape. Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, what else is going on?
You got to have a little bit in that bullpen, too.
Yeah, well,
you got to
Hey, that's another thing.
To,
that's another thing, Jay. Andrew Miller, love the guy. He's had a great career. Last year, he's really shaky, and he had injuries. He's 33, 34. I don't trust bullpen guys any more than I trust kickers or hockey goalies. I mean, they're on and off. They get traded, and things change, and there's very few of them that are, year after year, they're in top form.
Well, and when they picked Cecil up a couple years ago, he had a great season.
He didn't even show up. He didn't even show up in St. Louis for the winter warm-up.
No.
He knew
Cecil
better.
And Fowler, they both just lost it when they put Cardinal uniforms for some reason.
Comeback time for all of them. Let's see, Justin Rose. Nobody knows this, Jay, but Justin Rose won the Farmers Insurance Open. Nobody knows that. The only thing people know about is Tiger Woods didn't win. In fact, he was lousy until the last round, but nobody cares except about Tiger.
I heard Tiger had a good last round, but I did know Justin won the tournament.
Yeah, well, there's two of us. No,
that's right.
Hey, in fact, he's really, really good, man. He doesn't get any credit.
He is. He's always in the top of the leaderboard all the time when he's over here playing. He's just solid.
I had Mike and Mike. I wake up to Mike and Mike on whatever it is at 5 o'clock in the morning. The first 45. Justin Rose, his name was never mentioned once that I recall. It was only the other guys, and he finished way down. Then list everybody that finished second through 50th.
And I like it when they use split tees because when you start on the back side on Sunday, that means you're not even in it. And that's where Tiger was at.
Yeah, that's where I would be in. And the Joker won in tennis Sunday. You talk about some talent. I know tennis isn't given a lot of. That's three of the better players in the history of tennis are in the running here lately, man. Federer, Nadal, and the Joker. My goodness, it's peak time, really.
Yeah.
But I always loved Jimmy Connors, Bjorn Borg, and even McEnroe for what he did. Eli Nastasiadis.
McEnroe was fun to watch.
He was. I mean, I hated his guts, but he was a blast to see play.
Exactly. I used to like Jimmy Connors with that two-handed backhand he had. That was that was my man. Used that old Wilson T2000 racket.
I bought one of those. Because of that. I saw about all those guys playing St. Louis 2 or 3 different times, not 2 or 3 different times each, but they used to play some tournaments over there indoors at Kiel, at the arena, and so forth. So, AJ, I guess we got to log out, but thanks a lot for coming on tonight, okay? And we'll see you at a gym somewhere.
All right, Rip. Thanks for having me.
See ya. Jay Miller and Scores of Stuff. All that was brought to you by Mideastern Plumbing and Air Conditioning right here in Carlisle, the hometown source for residential and commercial work. Coming back, we've got John Krause later, Lee Bennett. Stay with us.
Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 44536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Nordike Funeral Home's mission is to help you plan for a difficult funeral by celebrating the life of a loved one. The grieving process from losing someone you love will be tough, but Nordike Funeral Home will be there to assist you. Find helpful information at NordikeFuneralHome.com, from grief support, planning a funeral, obituary information, and sending flowers. Nordike Funeral Home with 5 locations in Carlisle, New Baden, Aveston, Albers, and Breeze.
A Fine Swine Barbecue in New Baden is hosting a Rally for Ray fundraiser on Wednesday, January 30th. A portion of all dine-in, carry-out, online orders, and delivery from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. will go to Rally for Ray. A Fine Swine Barbecue, 423 West Hanover in New Baden. For more information and online orders, afineswine.com.
Welcome to our music warehouse. Lucky you're not the one who has to refile all these CDs. Playing everything.
You've got Max 96.7.
North March Studio on a Monday. We're every Monday and Wednesday from 6 until 7. Saturday mornings, 9 until 10. We're trying to get a hold of John Krause from the Oakville Rockets. I know he's a busy guy tonight over at the O Arena. There's a girls' game going on, so we're trying to trip him up somewhere between his cell phone and his office phone and so forth. In the meanwhile, we'll skip on above just a little bit for the Athlete of the Week.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're the best.
The Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Hoffman Auto Body. Whether your auto needs major or minor repairs, see Hoffman Auto Body. And by Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze, the choice for pizza, pasta, and more. Call 526-7040.
Thanks again, Mel. And our Athlete of the Week is Modern Day Knights forward Mitchell Hockey. The 6'5 sophomore scored 59 points over a 4-game span, which included a 20-point, 9-rebound effort in Saturday's shootout win versus Freeburg. Mitch was named that game's MVP, and he was also slotted on the Nashville Invitational All-Tournament team Monday night. So, yeah, he had a pretty large week, Modern Day 2-2, over that 4-game period. So, Mitchell Hockey, though, he is the Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week. Congrats to Mitchell. He'll get a $10 gift certificate to Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze. All right. Off we go. We've made connections on the Express Lube guest line. We find Oakville Rockets basketball coach John Krause. John, welcome back.
How are you doing, Rip?
Oh, pretty good. They got you hopping over there, huh?
Yeah, I had a game get started here and had a little issue come up, so sorry I was a little bit late getting on here.
That's okay. But the issue is it's all resolved.
We're good, yeah. Nothing major. We're good.
Let's see who's playing tonight. The Lady Rockets and
Lady Indians from Carlisle.
That is true. Yeah. And
yeah.
That's right. And you got that Sharton first game too. So.
Yes, we do. Just a little short little halftime, actually getting ready to start the second little half here, so.
Yeah, it's amazing that, I mean, it shouldn't amaze me, but I've seen enough of those Carlisle. That first game is just in a flash, but the second one starts around 7, so everybody's got to get there early. Well, let's catch up with you and your Rockets. It's been busy for you, as it has for most teams this time of year, and you played 3 more games last week. Let's start at the end. You ended that slate by blasting Lebanon Saturday night.
Yeah, we played Saturday afternoon against Lebanon, and they're in a tough spot right now. They have a lot of young kids, and they're just really struggling right now. And it was a good start to the game for us, and then we were able to play a lot of our kids off our bench and a lot of our seniors, and we shot the ball extremely well. I think, especially in the second half, we made 19 3-pointers for the game. And,
goodness.
Yeah, it was just one of those games where just like everything our guys threw up went in, and kind of just snowballed from there. But it was a good game for us to get a lot of our kids in the game, a lot of our bench, a lot of some of our seniors, and so it was good from that standpoint.
You approached the century mark. You stopped at 93, and probably by kind of plenty. That was your biggest output of the year.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, that was definitely by far the most we've scored in a game all season long.
That's a lot of markers.
Probably will be.
Yeah.
So. It is. Yeah. It was just, like I said, it was just one of those games where we just couldn't miss. I mean, everything that we made, no matter who it was, made shots, and it was good for us on that. And it's also, one of those things where when you're the other team, it's kind of frustrating, but it's one of those things that happen every once in a while. And you're always good, I guess, to be on the right side of that.
True.
But
that's true. We've all been
on the other side. Yeah, I've been on the other side too, so I know how it feels.
In reverse, what a tussle you had with the Columbia Eagles on the road. They drew you up by 3, 62-59.
Yeah, it was we knew going in it was going to be a tough game. They have a really good team this year, and it's always a tough place to play. A 3A school with some big kids inside, and overall our kids really fought hard. We led, pretty much most of that game until the latter part of the fourth quarter, and just a couple shots here or there, a couple turnovers, a couple breaks. But you got to give a lot of credit to them. They made some tough shots down the stretch, and their players stepped up and made some plays. But overall, you come away from those kind of games, and I know our kids want to win, and we want to win as coaches. But we learned a little bit about some things, and some things that we're starting to do a little bit better now, and some things that we need to continue to work on going into postseason. But anytime you go on the road against a team like that, if you come away with a win, it's going to be great. Come away playing well and getting beat is okay. It's obviously not something you're happy about, but it was a good game. It was a good loss, if that makes sense. One of those things where it's a good learning experience for our guys. But we battled them tough. Like I said, we led a lot of that game.
And I haven't seen them yet. I will when they finally come to Carlisle here in the not too distant future. But they got the Horners out there and those two big kids inside. I understand they've really improved and they can score more than a year ago. So very good coach in Sandstrom too.
Yeah, they do a great job. They run good stuff, and like I said, those two big kids are really hard to deal with. And we can kind of deal with one of them, but when you put two of them, 6'8" kids out there, and the one can stretch the floor and shoot threes, and he's just a really, really good high school player. And they had a couple kids that made some shots that maybe we weren't expecting to, but and that's when you're on your home floor, that's probably going to happen, and that was probably what ended up beating us. But it was just a really good game for us.
You also had the Nashville Hornets early in the week in the Battle of Washington County, and Coach Wayne Harris said, well, hey, you must have had the lead a sizable amount of time, right?
We did. We led a lot more of that game than they did. They led at the right time, though. They led at the end. So they led at the time you want to lead. But, no, we had the lead, I would say, all the way maybe up until the 5-minute mark of the last quarter. I would say they had the lead all the way up until there. And then we both teams played a lot of zone, which is a little bit unusual. And we got off to a really good start. We tried to take advantage of some things that we thought we had advantage of, and we did. We just got off to a really good start and got up by like 9, I think, early, and kind of went that way all the way till about the fourth quarter. And we missed some shots where we had some opportunities to make some shots to maybe really, really put some pressure on them. And to give them credit, they had some guys that they finally just got 5 shooters out on the floor that really made it hard for us to guard. And the shots that they might have not made that first half, first 3 quarters, they started getting them in there and they got a lead on us. And, it was maybe, I think they were, with the 4-minute mark, maybe they were up 2 and we had the ball, and then it got to 4 or 6, and then we had to foul a little bit. And so really the finals game is really misleading. I mean, I know it ended up 14, but, it was probably a, 1 or 2 possession game for sure. It's just, we just went cold that last 4 minutes, and they did a really good job of using their length, affect some of our shots and some of our opportunities. And if we could have made a few of those and put a little bit more pressure on them, things might have been different, but we didn't. And, that's why they're, ranked where they are and as good as they are, is their kids made some plays and big shots, and we just couldn't quite match, for 32 minutes. For 28, we were really good, but that final 4 minutes, we just went ice cold. I don't think we scored the last 4 minutes. And if you're going to beat somebody as good as they are, and you're going to have to score some buckets and some possessions, and we just couldn't quite do that.
Yes, they are a legit #1 team in Class 2. In fact, you can throw out the rankings as far as we saw them again Saturday here at Carlisle, and obviously we were hoping the Indians would play them tough and maybe spring that upset. But it was 5 out in a blink. It was 16-5, and they just dashed away. And they're so big and strong. They've got everything, man.
They do. They got great size. Their ball handlers are big.
They are.
And, they got post players. Boltman's 6'5", really can pass the ball. And Parker kid's a good athlete at 6'5", and even those other kids, the Bergman kid and the Anderson kid can shoot it. I mean, he might be their best shooter, and people don't even hardly talk about him. But
you know who else they don't talk about? Hercules. I love that little guy.
They just have a lot of really good they have a decent, have some guys that come off the bench. Pelchinski kick and come off the bench and just instant offense. And, they have a lot of really good pieces. And they played us a zone that was a big zone. And I like the looks we got against them. We just didn't make the shots. But, they're definitely going to be formidable in 2A, for quite a run, I would think.
25 or 26-2 now, just the 2 losses to Briarcrest, and they're in a league of their own there. And then Pinckneyville nipped them, and they're going to see the Panthers again, and they have their another really good player back, from what I'm told. Kitchen.
Yeah.
I always get his name wrong.
I would say that they'll probably run into each other at least 2 more times, probably. I would that'd be my guess, but
usually they play.
You never know, but I would say somewhere along the postseason they will battle heads again.
Yes, I don't doubt that. And you're also on the court a bunch the week ahead of last, and that was at the Oakville Invitational. And how'd that all end up, John? Clue us in on that.
The last day got snowed out like everybody else's tournament, and we were not able to. So far, we are in the process now. Actually, us and Madison are trying to get a game, trying to find a date to play to finish it. Really, that's pretty much the championship game. They're undefeated, and we were 2-1. So it's whoever wins that game is going to win the championship. And DuQuoin and Jabot, if they can come the night that we find, they're going to come, but they're not overly concerned about really making that game up. So from their standpoint, they may not. They may just try to find a game, somewhere down, to make up a game, to find a game. So most likely, I think what's going to end up happening is us and Madison will play somewhere probably in the early part of February. Maybe not this coming week, obviously not this week, but maybe like the 11th or 13th. That's the 2 dates that we're looking at right now. And so that will give us at least some kind of final. At least that's what we're trying to do. It's just really hard this time of year. The dates are condensed, so tight, and you get close to postseason, and you want your practice time too. And so we'll see. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, we'll just, I don't know. We'll move on and go from there. But it sounds like Madison. I know us and Madison are really, really trying hard to play. So I think something will happen there.
And I hope so. And I mean, it's not, but I'd love to see it closed out. And I know you would too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got trophies and some plaques here I'd like to get out of my office. So I want to get it closed up and finished. So.
Now, next year, when we start this run up again in that week, another January from now in 2020, the Carlisle Indians will be trekking your way.
They will. We're excited about that. Good, close school, 25 minutes away, bring some crowd for us. And that's one thing we've been maybe missing just a little bit. We've had some really good programs in our tournament. It's a little bit of a travel. And when you got those midwinter tournaments that go during the week, that travel becomes difficult for fans too, not just the teams, but, getting fans to the games. And we're hoping that, Carlisle being fairly close, like Westland, will bring some more people to our but
Carbondale 3-3, so quite a collection of teams. Marion, just are you surprised about that 0-6 record, or they lose a lot of guys?
Well, they're 0-6 and they have an overall winning record.
I know it. They're above 500, right?
It's kind of bizarre, and that's not a huge sample size of games. I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see them get some down the stretch. They've got big guys. They've got guys who can shoot. I've got a point guard solid with the ball, and it's just, it's not always easy just to go win the game. Everybody's working hard to try to make you fail, and but they're certainly a capable team as well.
And you've got them at the tail end of the season, right in front of that second seed.
Yeah, we go to Mattoon tomorrow night and play a really good Mattoon team. I think they're maybe 16-5 or something. Their golf play is really, really, really good. They can really shoot it. A couple guys that can really attack it. And they have 4 guys that I would say are beyond good 3-point shooters. And so it's going to be a really good challenge there Tuesday. And then we go to Altoff on Friday. And, they're playing well. And again, you're talking about a team that has really strong guard play. And then they've got, a couple big guys down low and some shooters around them. But, they have 2 really, really good guards.
There's a lot of action still to be had and a lot of wins to pick off for you there, Lee. And
well, I hope so. It day by day, practice by practice,
Sure.
game by day, game, drill by drill, just trying to get better. And, it's certainly not just easy just to, just have them go do that. And, it's that can be challenging sometimes.
Yeah, there's an opposition.
It's certainly been challenging at times this year.
There's a defense. There's an opposition. It's not golf, is it, Lee?
No. Well, that's plenty challenging for me too.
Well, I know that. Yeah, but this is a whole
different
situation there. But, hey, we haven't talked to you since early December. I know there's a Salem invitation. We'll skip, but the Centralia Holiday Tournament overall. I know you wanted to fare better, of course, in your own tournament than you normally do. But
we went to the winner's side. I mean, we had a nice win over a pretty good Marist team, and then almost knocked off Carmel, who's having a really good year. Man, we had a shot at the buzzer right off the rim to beat them. Jamie was out there for a stretch, so that was, we did all right. We lost to Evanston handily, and they're clearly better than us. I mean, they're good. That tournament was good.
Yeah, that's what I was.
That Belleville West Alton High championship game was really high level of basketball, with a lot of kids really competing hard, and you had big kids that could score outside. You had athletes pressuring the ball that could attack the rim.
I bet.
Had shooters knocking down shots. I mean, it was really high level basketball. And there was high level players out on the court, and of course you talk about Liddell, and everybody knows how good he is and going to Ohio State, but Donovan Clay from Alton was kind of right. I mean, he's as tall as he is, and not quite as thick and physical maybe yet, but he's grown like 4 or 5 inches in the last 10 months or something, and he's just that top half of that Southwest Conference is really solid this year.
Did the Redbirds have everybody at Centralia, or were they short one or so?
I think they were maybe short one or two, and it's been hard to keep up with that for sure.
Ever since that incident over, yeah.
Yeah, but they acted fine, perfect,
good.
No incidents, and that was a bad deal. But I don't really think, and I talked to some people that know some of those kids and coach some of those kids, and that wasn't necessarily really reflective of, it was kind of just one of those unfortunate incidents that, it certainly happened. You have to own it, and you hope it doesn't, happen, but I don't think that was fully reflective of who those guys are.
Hey, finally, Lee, the kids down the lower ranks got some athletes there, got more importantly, some basketball players there.
Well, we're always trying to build. Rip, the freshmen are off playing games tonight, and got those coaches are working, trying to get those guys better and trying to help them mature and learn the basics of basketball. Like I said, those freshman coaches always get the job of trying to put in some building blocks, some base building blocks, a lot of the guys, the freshmen that we start with, Rip, you teach them which side of their man to stand on when they're on defense and some things like that. I mean, it's just, it's a process, and it takes a while, and you hope that, the kids don't become too, frustrated, I guess, or whatever, because they're where they're starting and where you're trying to get them to. It's just if they're going to get to that higher level, there's a lot of learning, a lot of base basketball they have to learn before they can take a step to higher level stuff. So we're fortunate to have some guys down there putting in some building blocks, and we have a lot of guys out there working at it and trying to get better. And hopefully Mother Nature will help a few of them when it comes time to grow.
It usually works out.
That's one thing that could really help our program right now. Is if is a bad 6'5" guy going to help us? It's not, Rip. But there's 6'5" kids out there that can play. 6'5" kid that can play. Yeah, sure, of course. And so hopefully we get some guys that will grow and mature and get better. Obviously, we're playing a lot of young guys. This year we're playing 4 or 5 sophomores and some juniors. Just playing start one senior and play another one off the bench some, and you know, it's. But if they don't get better, we don't get better. You know, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully some of them will get some help from Mother Nature.
I think so. Hey, Lee, appreciate your time as always. We're a little short tonight, but thanks for coming on, and have a good rundown toward the end of the regular season. Then, hey, do some good, pop some wins off in that postseason. Who knows? So, but thanks for coming on.
You never know, Rick.
Yeah. Oh, no. Never count out the orphans. And we'll look you up again for sure.
Okay, Rick. Have a good evening, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Lee Bennett of the Seatown Orphans. Our thanks to him, and also to John Krause from Oakville and Jay Miller on Scores and Stuff. One of our guests Wednesday night, Central Cougars coach Jeremy Schubert. We'll see you then between 6 and 7 on Talkin Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 WCXO.
Talkin Sports was